Ta oddaja bo potekala v angleščini in v slovenščini.
Festival Mladi Mariboru.
Pozdravljeni še enkrat na festivalu Mladi Maribor 2021. Jan, vas še zadnjič pozdravljam iz studia v Kulturnem inkubatorju na Koroški cesti 18. Še zadnjič, čeprav se festival seveda še ne zaključi do petka 26. Še vedno lahko obiščete virtualni karierni sejem, ki ste ga lahko obiskali včeraj. Danes pa še eno in še zadnjo posebno epizodo o projektu iNet 2.0, ki se je prav tako zgodil znotraj festivala oziroma v okviru festivala Mladi Maribor 2021. Projekt mladinskega političnega gledališča je v širni mednarodnosti 8 sodelujočih držav in mest najprej obiskal Maribor in Ptuj. Projekt je kakopak evropski, v njem sodeluje, kot rečeno, 8 mest iz 8 različnih držav, to so Novi Sad, Srbija, Praga, Češka, San Sepolcro iz Italije, Atene, Grčija, Toulouse, Francija, Berlin, Nemčija, Kaunas, Litva in seveda Maribor in Ptuj, Slovenija. In to so tista mesta, ki dajo streho projektu. Najprej sta projektu, kot rečeno, dala streho Maribor in Ptuj, ki jo je festival najprej obiskal. In zato, da poveš kaj več podatkov, slišal sem nekaj številke okrog 850, pa 16 različnih predstav, ampak jaz tega ne vem na pamet, tudi tam gor nimam izpisano. Zagotovo ima pa to zapisano koordinator vodja mladinskih projektov oziroma mladinskega programa pri NKC Maribor, Željko Milovanovič, ki je tudi koordinator tega projekta, iNet projekta za NKC Maribor in torej koordinator festivala pri nas. Željko, pozdravljen.
Zdravo, Jan. 840, če smo natančni, ampak mogoče lahko o številkah malo kasneje.
Ok, mislim, če zaokrožimo navzgor, ali pa če še dodamo tistih 10, ki jih je mogoče vskočilo noter vmes, ampak zagotovo o tem, kaj več kasneje tudi, kako so se predstave odigrale in kje vse tudi samimi udeleženci in udeleženkami, ki so se pri nas oglasili in odigrali svoje predstave. Kasneje, kot rečeno, oddaja bo potekala mešano. Zaenkrat se še midva Željko pogovarjamo v slovenščini, kasneje se še v angleščini, ampak dajva se v slovenščini najprej o projektu. Kakšen koncept sploh to je politično mladinsko gledališče v Evropski uniji in širše na koncu koncev?
V bistvu naše izhodišče vseh nas partnerskih organizacij iz vseh teh 8 držav, ki sem že naštel, je bilo, da je raven politične participacije mladih v Evropski uniji oziroma raven aktivnega državljanstva mladih, pa tudi ostalih, da je precej nizka. In v bistvu se ukvarjamo z tem problemom na en poseben način, pri čemer smo vzeli kulturo in umetnost oziroma gledališče kot orodje, ki nam pomaga pri tem problemu. To poteka na ta način tako, da smo v bistvu skupaj z mladimi določili 8 aktualnih tem v Evropi, kot so na primer solidarnost, antifašizem, lažne novice in tako naprej, recimo ekologija, ekonomija. Potem pa je v vsaki državi skupina mladih skupaj z mentorji in režiserji na določeno temo, v katero se je poglobila, pripravila gledališko predstavo. In zdaj so te gledališke predstave pripravljene. Prvič so se odigrale na gostovanju na festivalu Mladi Maribor, da pa ne pozabim, bistven del same predstave je pa potem interakcija oziroma diskusija z mladim občinstvom. In zato smo v Mariboru, ki je Mariboru in na Ptuju, ki sta prvi postojanki te mednarodne gledališke karavane, smo postavili te predstave v 8 srednjih šol, v bodisi šolska gledališča, avle, učilnice, to boste videli kasneje. In tako kot se je festival zdaj zgodil v Sloveniji, bo v prihodnjih mesecih gledališka karavana potovala po gledališčih in šolah vseh udeleženih držav. Zdaj naslednja postojanka je februarja v Atenah, potem sledi Novi Sad in tako naprej, Berlin, Praga. Kot sem že omenil, ja, smo s temi predstavami gostovali zdaj v 8 srednjih šolah v Mariboru in na Ptuju. Pri organizaciji nam je pomagal Center interesnih dejavnosti Ptuj oziroma CID Ptuj. Mislim, da je bila zadeva zelo uspešna in zelo dobro sprejeta tako med dijaki samimi kot spremljevalci, učitelji. Našteli smo na koncu, kot sva že omenila, 840 občinstva, mladega občinstva, ki pa mu lahko tudi rečemo aktivno občinstvo, ker v večini primerov predstav mislim, da je bila zelo dobra in kvalitetna diskusija in smo bili v marsikaterem primeru tudi pozitivno presenečeni nad odzivom mladih.
Omenil si, Željko, da je različna tematika, različne vsebine so tiste, ki jih kot aktualne predstavljajo predstave. Torej sva jih že švrknila malo napovedala, da ne poveva preveč in da ostane še kje za udeležene in za vse udeležene, ki so danes z nami v studiu. Dajva še povedati konkretno, kakšni so bili odzivi, si kaj izvedel od profesorjev, profesoric na srednjih šolah in gimnazijah po Ptuju in Mariboru?
Ja, v bistvu je zdaj situacija takšna, da si na večini udeleženih šol učitelji želijo v bistvu, ko smo se pogovarjali z njimi, še več takšnih vsebin, ne. Zdaj pa glede na odzive po predstavah, na odzive dijakinj in dijakov, pa sklepam, da tudi oni, no, tako da upam, da bomo imeli možnost tudi še v Sloveniji v naslednjih mesecih gostovati vsaj slovensko predstavo, če ne tudi z ostalimi. Toliko.
Super, Željko, hvala za to neko kontekstualno, okvirno in okvirdajočo napoved tega, kar se ima vsaj za napovedati in opisati, če že ne zgodite, res držimo pesti, da se odigrajo predstave še kdaj tudi v bližnji in daljni okolici, daljni zagotovo, kot smo rekli na preostalih festivalih v preostalih državah, da se pa še tu zgodi, pa ja, vsaj za slovensko lahko rečemo, da ji kaže kar dobro. Za slovensko predstavo pa je danes z nami Leonardo, eden izmed ustvarjalcev in igralcev predstavi. Nekateri so za fake oziroma Some Like It Fake. Leonardo, živijo.
Zdravo.
Zdravo, Leonardo. Some Like It Fake, nekateri so za fake, tema fake news oziroma lažnih novic, relevantna tema. Zakaj je izbrana? Nam lahko poveš kaj več o tem, zakaj in kako je potekal proces najprej izbora teme, potem pa vse, kar se je naprej dogajalo v slovenski ekipi.
Ja, v naši skupini se mi zdi, da je pač bila ta tema zelo relevantna, saj je bila tema, v katerem nekateri so vedeli malo več, nekateri malo manj. In smo nekako skupaj prišli do zaključka, da želimo raziskovati to temo, zaradi tega, ker se je vse tudi dogajalo takrat z volitvami v Ameriki, s Trumpom, z širjenjem teh lažnih novic in tudi, kaj se podobno dogaja v Sloveniji preko Twitterja in podobno. In ja, proces je bil zelo zabaven. Mi smo nekako poskušali prikazati lažne novice skozi svoje telo, ne da bi toliko razmišljali povedati z besedami, kaj se v bistvu dogaja, ampak nekako skozi telo in skozi takšne gledališke vaje prikazati lažne novice. Ja.
In nastalo je to, kar lahko gledava in gledate tudi tamle desno od naju. Če bi se midva gledala v gledalo, pa bilo to na najini levi. kjer sva oba na odru, da se ne bom zdaj delal neumnega za brez veze, ne. Ja, tamle sva tvoj rjavi, moj sivi suknič, pa še zraven Patricija, Nina in David, ki smo nastopali, oziroma takšna ekipa smo nastopali na Ptuju in imeli diskusijo, da ne bom jaz govoril, da poveš še kaj ti o tem, kaj smo se pa potem pogovarjali. Zdaj, diskusija te je presenetila, si pričakoval takšno diskusijo, lahko rečeva, da je bila kar plodovita in kar odprta, sploh če upoštevamo to, da so bili tam zraven prvi letniki računalniške srednje šole.
Ja, mene je diskusija kar presenetila, pozitivno moram reči. Sem pričakoval malo manj pogovora, ampak mi je bilo res zanimivo, v kakšne teme smo se spuščali. Všeč mi je tudi bilo, da smo nekako se lahko povezali z mladino in pač na nek njihov nivo se postavili in pač se lahko res pogovarjali o teh temah brez kakšnega strahu. Pogovarjali smo se dosti o tem, odkot dobivajo oni informacije, ali se jim zdi, da pomembnost objektivnega širjenja novic, in smo nekako prišli do ugotovitve, da jih par ni vedelo, kaj pomeni objektivno širjenje novic, in pač smo ful izkoristili to kot trenutek, kjer smo se vsi nekaj novega še zraven naučili, in se mi zdi, da smo res pustili nek vtis tem ljudem, na katere smo pač lahko imeli možnost pokazati naš pogled na lažne novice.
Torej, debata o tem, kaj je objektivno in kaj ne, je bila relevantna, je super, da je bila. Mislim, jaz upam, da se na oder tak ali pa drugačen zapodimo še kdaj bliže ali daljne, naslednja postaja Tene, itak, no? Nasmešek, ki pove, da mogoče še bolj težko čakamo tisti nastop. Leonardo, hvala ti za ta kratek, pa niti ne feedback, v bistvu vtis, ki je ostal po predstavi, ki je žal nismo mogli še odigrati za širšo publiko, ampak ja, saj bomo, ne?
Ja.
Super. Leonardo, drži se, hvala ti. And now we're switching to English. Zdaj se bomo preklopili na angleščino, kajti sogovorci in sogovorke so iz tujih nam dežel. So now I welcome Tassos with me. Tassos from Greece, Tassos from Athens, is that right? Or do we hear each other from Mariboru to Athens and back? Is that right?
Hello, that's right. I'm from Athens. I'm in Athens. How are you?
I'm great. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you're still at least reading, if not writing, any new stories. Your performance with the title of Unwritten Land was the performance that brought to us not only the ecology as a broad topic, but as concrete as it can be. Not windmills, yeah, we could say windmills of 21st century that needs tabula rasa, basically, needs to erase the nature to at least on a declarative level, to improve our well-being, to lessen the carbon dioxide emissions. This is really a complex topic. If we discuss ecology, if we discuss specifically the tackling of ecology that should be critically evaluated. How did you start your work on the performance, and where did it lead you? Was anything surprising on your way?
Well, yes, there were many surprises. First of all, I want to apologize for my English. They're not very good, so I will try to be as much understandable as I can. Unwritten Land was the title of our performance, and the title was that because our performance has to do about a place called Agrafa in Greece. Agrafa means unwritten. And means unwritten because at the previous times when the Turks were in Greece, they couldn't get there and write down the population and how many people were there. So we decided to search about wind turbines in Greece, because this is a main problem to my country. And we we had to search about this. What are the pros and cons of these big white structures? And we find many interesting things that, and still, this search is in progress. We try to decide if they are good or bad. In my opinion, and as I told my opinion to the performance because it was a part of our performance. Every actor at the end to express his or her personal opinion. Wind turbines is by the way we use them in Greece is not a good way, and we try as we say to our performance, we try to save our planet by destroying it, and we have to look into that as a society and as a state.
We can see also the excerpts of your performance on the high school in, I think, Ptuju. Was it? It seems that, you're really strong in your opinion. You're putting some activism up on stage, which is, also an important part, if not the main part of our project, iNated 2.0. Let me just quickly ask you this. Does it feel to be like modern Don Quixote when tackling wind turbines that just substituted the windmills of the past times? Or is it meaningful? Is it effective if we tackle and if we discuss the topic that it should be discussed? Nevertheless, you made a performance out of it.
Our main goal was this, to start a discussion about this. We realized that people are not aware of this issue. They hear wind turbines, okay, green energy, good. It's not exactly this. And as I said before, in Greece we have a huge problem with this topic. I think in Slovenia you only had 2 or 3 wind turbines. They tried to put more, but they couldn't. You didn't let them. Greece is extremely full. There are thousands. There are thousands of wind turbines in Greece. So our main goal was to start the discussion. We don't want to say that no wind turbines or yes wind turbines, but we put a question.
And the questions that you put to Slovene audience, were they deemed relevant by the high schoolers? How was the discussion after your performances in Slovenia?
The discussion was great. I think that it was the best part of our visit in Slovenia. Can you hear me? It was the best part. The discussion was great. We discussed with students. They had many questions. Only a few of them were aware for the topic and the issue. It was really, really, really interesting. And I think the best moment of this journey was when one girl at the first group thanked us that we learned here so much about this topic. It was great. I think it was the best part of this performance. And I think that was the goal, to inform people, to put the question, to start a discussion.
For sure, Tassos, we're now speaking almost in a European project-like terms, but we're still speaking about performance. I hope that we see you. Željko mentioned that maybe we see you also in Slovenia, but for sure we'll see you in Athens. Tassos, thank you for your performance. Thank you for your time today. As Tassos mentioned, also the topic of ecology can be tackled really economically, that there has to be a profit. And the economy was the topic of the performance that Italian group brought to Mariboru and Ptuju. Do you like tomato sauce? Was the question that posed the title of the performance, and I must say I do. Chiara, do you like tomato sauce? Chiara, you're just on mute, so you can unmute and just start answering questions.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, thank you. And yes, I do. And first of all, I want to thank you for the invitation. I'm going to speak for the rest of my group that are 12 young people from 16 to 23 years, then the same age as the group that enjoy our performance in Mariboru, more or less. And also for my association here in Italy, Associazione Culturale Capotrave Kilowatt. And yes, we talk about economy, our main team, because we start to work with this group in November 2001 on remotely on Zoom, and we go through all the team that European INET project gave to us, and but we choose this topic because I think the guys of my group, they were not aware about this problem, and they became curious and they start to study and go through this topic. And the topic actually is exploitation of migrant and migrant labor in Italy. But we understand that the problem is not just about Italy. I mean, there is a main problem in Italy, but it's not just about Italy. And we wanted to share this research with the others.
And you shared it, not surprisingly, we're talking about theater project via theater performance. And that was, yeah, how well accepted in your stay in Slovenia? Was the discussion opened enough that also the students found out what is really the price of the red gold from Italy, from Tuscany?
Yeah, I think in the first time it was a bit shock. I mean, we tried to. I mean, our performance, it was proper, as you can see from the image. It was inside of the groups in the public, and I think they have they were not aware about this topic, but still we receive a lot of questions, and also we have some of our actors in contact with some guys. Then we meet them outside after the performance because they were curious about this argument. And yes, I think we receive some important questions and also opinions from the younger, because they understand there are some contact with this problem even in their own life and situation, not about them, but for example for parents and sisters and friends of them. One girl said to me the problem, like legal contract, for example, or other problems that can be connected with this huge problem.
So yeah, the story about the red gold, the tomato, is a complex story that should be taken in consideration. And yeah, Chiara, thank you for your visit in studio. Thank you for your visit in Mariboru and Ptuju to show us, not only tell us this. Definitely, this is also addressing the topic, many topics and many problems in our society as well. And to answer them, we have to act solidarily. So the solidarity is not a surprising topic for the project that we have here, the INIT 2.0 project. And the next one with us is Rokas from Lithuania. Rokas, hello.
Hi there. Can you hear me well?
I can hear you well for sure, and this is easier to do for the stream for sure, but it's not really in tune with your performance, is it? We should be talking with our hands and our bodies. We should be talking with the language that we would invent. This is the premise of your performance, The Noise of the Silence, which is tackling not only the topic of solidarity, but tackling the topic, addressing the topic of solidarity in a really interesting way through the life of the hearingly impaired, deaf people. How did you come up with the idea, with the specification of the topic, and how did you develop it?
Actually, in Lithuania now we have a lot of processes of integration happening, and the main idea was to integrate the community of deaf people to our performance. And then we thought maybe we can not only integrate them into our general cultural life, but to make a performance for everybody, for people who can hear and can't hear at the same time. So our performance is about a language that everybody can understand. It's about a body language, even if we don't understand sign language, or if they don't understand verbal language, we can talk by our bodies. And that's what we experienced during our process and also performance.
And we talked, and we can talk also now about exactly this, how to not only be inclusive in means of, we will make the performance and process with the group that is maybe so bit outcasted with all the social and cultural life that we have, but also to include them. For example, with your visit, during your visit in Mariboru, I also got some information about Lithuania not having any theater for deaf or sensory hearingly impaired people. Is that correct?
Yeah, as I know, and as I talked with deaf people, they said that they only do theater in their own community. So there's no performances of deaf people or both deaf and hearing people like in the national level. We have national theater or and etc. And there's no performances. Actually, we were doing subtitling to deaf people to come to theater, but the main idea is to create together, not to actually the integration process also separates us at the same time. It connects and separates us at the same time. So now it is changing, more and more processes and performances appears, where people who has, I don't like this word, but disabilities, we say that it's abilities, different abilities, are creating performances and shows in the city, maybe not in the national theater, but in private companies or something like that.
I think that's I hope that this finds you and our audience well, because I mean it in a really positive and open way. But this is really a way to integrate solidarity into the performance, not only to invite different kinds of performance and authors with different kinds of abilities, as you've said, to the performance, but also the audience, which was invited, even though I heard that you had some complications exactly with the sound in one of your performances, that there was a main break during the performance and then it was disturbed or not disturbed. How was it? How did you find Slovenian audience and also the place where you were performing?
Oh, okay. We had like a technical issue. Like during our performance, there was a part where we had sound from the speaker, and speaker like didn't work properly. So that was very on the topic, you know. And the audience was amazing. Actually, at first, I thought that maybe it will be difficult for them to join us on stage and to participate. But they did it. They come on stage and they participated. They experienced the silence. You know, it's very difficult to create like absolute silence even with headphones on. But you know, when we don't communicate in verbal language, then you really feel like the silence. And as our topic of performance is the noise of the silence, the noise comes when lack of solidarity happens. And our main goal was to experience that solidarity together with the audience. And as they tried to communicate with their body language, the audience and also the actors. So actually, it was the act of solidarity. And I think that we experienced it together with the audience, as they said in the discussion. It was kind of hard for them to express what they felt because it was very personal, you know, because they didn't only see the performance, but they experienced it by themselves, tried to communicate with actors and deaf girl who's in our group by signs, by body language, by facial expressions. And we asked, did they do it in their like casual life? Did they meet deaf people? And they said no, actually. So it was a new experience. So we are very glad that we encouraged them if they meet deaf people like on the street or somewhere, like to try, even just to try, you know, to communicate, to meet those people and like to make a world a better place for all of us.
This is some long-term goal, but for sure opening spaces for solidarity is important. And yeah, thank you for doing that in Ptuju and Mariboru. Thanks, Rokas, for visiting us also here in studio.
Thanks.
And yeah, solidarity, opening spaces for solidarity is really, really important. What about if we talk about physical space? If we talk about physical space, then we can talk also about Titanic, also in France. Oriane, hello and welcome to our virtual studio.
Hello.
Your performance was the performance also addressing the topic of solidarity through the prism of physical public space.
Yeah.
Can
Totally.
we concrete, if we try to be more concrete, or what can we say concretely about the performance without telling too much in case of not seeing the performance yet?
Yeah. So we are 20 people in the groups, and we wanted to talk about something that really linked us and something about that everybody was concerned about. So we thought about the public space because we all at the same time felt really a lot of freedom on it, a lot of joy, a lot of solidarity, but also we felt a lot of fear of repression or like control. So we thought about talking about what we all felt when we are in the public space and how we all act kind of part of a body. Public space is kind of a body for us that we are all part of. And we thought about it as like something like a virus or something is trying to contaminate French public space by making more laws that we can't really understand or like more control. So we wanted to say like, yes, French public space is really full of freedom, of joy, but also little by little, it kind of becoming more like something controlled and that repress our bodies. So yes, we wanted to question this, make a portrait of the public space we want, like or with the public space we fear, and ask questions that we don't really answer, so people can think about it as well. and in their countries, or like, yeah.
And we still have time to turn before the ruins, right? That's the title of the show. That was, as we're explaining and presenting the project and the festival, also performed in Slovenia, in Maribor. And how was it to address the topic of public space in Slovenia? Was it similar or the same as public space in France? What did the discussion bring up interesting about the similarities or dissimilarities between the public spaces?
So the audience in general, they were really surprised that France wasn't as full of freedom as they thought. So we had this discussion, like we played 4 times, and on the 4 times, I think this came back a lot, that, oh, maybe France is not as free as we think. And this is what we wanted to show. So like, maybe it is full of freedom, but we need to work on the fact that it needs to stay like this. And it's still, we need our freedom. We need to express ourselves. So when we talked with the young people in Slovenia, they were saying a lot that Slovenia is really a sure place, like a place that you feel like good on it in the public space. And they were talking a lot about the fact it's a good country for children, like the public space is quite secure, stuff like this. So in the exchange, we thought that maybe we dressed a kind of dark portrait of France, even if this is not what we wanted to do. So we tried to approach it in a way that they understand what we feel, and we understand as well that even if the public space they describe in Slovenia seems quite good, I think it's a European problem that like some stuff are taking our freedom away. So I think even if it's really different, it's quite the same. Like, yeah, we all need to take care about keeping our freedom and our joy in the public space. I don't know if I answered the question.
Yeah, even if not, for sure, Jan, you answered the question just fine, and you just ended it almost perfectly. This is the statement that, yeah, we can bring in our everyday life, more and more, I fear, but yeah, let's not discuss. We just had this short interview, and let many discussions roll on in other public spaces. And Jan, thank you for joining us in studio today. Thank you for your performance in Slovenia and Mariboru and Ptuju, and greetings to France.
See you.
And we come back to another topic that was already mentioned today, the ecology, which is the topic that is relevant also in all 8 of the participant countries. Cities, it is important worldwide, we can say. Legacy was the title, or is the title, of the Serbian performance that was performed also during the festival INET 2.0 in Slovenia, in Mariboru and Ptuju. And Alexa is now with me to discuss a bit about the performance. Alexa, hello.
Hello. My bad. Is everything okay?
Right now it's okay.
Okay, nice.
Cool. And now cut. So Legacy was the title, or is the title, of your performance, Alexa, performance which touches not only the actuality and the real-time development of the ecological topic and problems of ecology that ecology has and ecology addresses. So this is not something from yesterday, but goes way, way back. Why legacy, and why should we go back enough to find the roots of our problems, even with ecology?
Yes, so like you said, it's not just a problem that is today. It existed way before us, and it's likely to exist even after us. And the name legacy is picked because of the question we want to ask the audience, especially the older generation, is, what are you leaving for your children behind? Because if you're leaving a world like this, where the ocean is polluted, air is polluted, the earth is polluted, everything is polluted, what are you leaving your children with? And it was a really big question for us, which we spent a lot of time thinking about. And we wanted to go into the depths of what we are actually doing to the planet and how we're doing it, of course. And yeah, it was just a really long process of finding out what exactly is the problem with the topic of ecology today.
And I haven't seen the performance yet, I have to say, before posing this maybe a bit obvious question for anyone who had seen your performance. What is your answer if you suggest that there is, or what is the way that we should be answering this problem, this question too?
So the first and probably the main thing we actually want from, not just from people from Serbia to do, but also from Slovenia and other European countries, is just to be aware of the things that are happening. Because in our play, we showed a lot of facts about what's happening in the fabrics, what's happening all around the world with how things are being made and how those companies are polluting the earth. And a lot of the students were shocked. They couldn't believe that that was what's happening. And one of the students actually raised his hand and said, well, yeah, I knew this stuff happens, but I thought that happens like in India or like some parts of Africa. And I had to tell him, like, no, it's not just going on in Serbia. It was also happening in Slovenia a few years before this. And they were just shocked, like, it's actually happening all over Europe. And that was a big thing we wanted to tell all the people. We can't wait to show that to everybody in Europe, because everybody in Europe has this problem. And so, yeah, that's probably the biggest thing we can do to change the things about ecology, just to be aware that it is actually happening and it's a lot closer than you think.
And it was as close as possible for students in Mariboru and Ptuju when you performed here. You already mentioned, Alex, the discussion that brought some interesting stuff up. Is there anything more that we should mention so we can reflect on our position, or do we wait for other European countries to find out that this is a relevant problem and it is happening here and now, and it was also happening here and before?
Well, for the rest of the people, I guess you should just watch the show and see. But for the people in Slovenia who already watched the show, it was really fun, and it was interesting to see the students coming into the theater, and we're just like confused and like, I don't know what this is. They're gonna do some play or something. And after that, they were so engaged. After they saw the play, we asked them, like, who do you think you'll do something about this now? Do you have the need to organize something or do anything? And they all raised their hands up. They were all so interested. They were like, of course, now we have to do something. After the play we saw, after the information we just had, we have to do something about it. And that's exactly the reaction we wanted with this play.
And exactly the reaction that is great for the final note of also our, not only the performances, not only the project, not only the festival, but also of our today's show. Alexa, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And, thank you all that joined us in the studio. Hvala vsem, ki ste nas spremljali oziroma ki nas gledate in ste nas pogledali ter poslušali. Hvala vsem, ki ste si predstave ogledali. In hvala tistim, ki si predstave še boste ogledali. To je bilo to iz studia, z tega kavča Festivala Mladi Maribor 2021. Lepo vas je bilo imeti na drugi strani. Jan, vas pozdravljam, vam kličem živjo. To je to.
Festival Mladi Maribor.